So hello, in this video we're going to tackle how to do geomapping. Mostly you see maps on textbooks and you wonder how are they drawn. So today we're going to do the same plotting of the maps using Python, and you'll allow me to pre-code this. The code I have had to do it before and confirm all the errors were out before recording this. So let's go step by step. I'll explain every code line. So let's start off. So the first thing you need to do is load all the libraries. And the first library, this is for manipulation of data. Same with NumPy. Then there's matplotlib that is actually used to plot maps. And then GeoPandas is the most important library that you actually need to use this, because this one now does the plotting of the map. This does mapping. So if you do this for the first time, you'll be forced to more or less of install a library. Let me just try and see. Sorry. So if you're doing this for the first time, perhaps you'll need to do some installation. So you'll have to say pip install GeoPandas. So you'll give it some time. Of course, now you need to install this, but now in my case, I already have it. So after you've done the libraries, so the next thing is to load your data. So you import the data from wherever you'll have placed it. So in this case, my data that actually has the Kenyan population that I did in my first video on Excel. This is where I did put my data. It's called the Kenya population per county. And I'll be drawing this map using, just to show how different population how population has distributed itself in Kenya, in regards to where there's dense population, where there's less population. This is based on the census that actually happened in 2019. So we go straight and say, of course, you have to define where your data is located. So this is where my data is. The next thing is now telling Python that, please, in this case, define my data as you're telling pandas to read the Excel file that you actually put here on the location that actually specified. Then tell it that's where you're picking my data, the location, the data, but please use the index column as counties. Yeah. So if you load this, then this should be able to, okay, I'm supposed to do index column. So if you run that, then you have your data loaded. So you have your counties here: Baringo, Bomet, Busia, and the population per county. So we want to now to show them, we want now to draw the map. So the next thing is to load a shapefile. So a shapefile is what determines how your map will look like. If you load a Kenyan shapefile, definitely you expect it to, you're expecting to see a map of Kenya. If you load a world map, you also expect to see a world map. If you load a shapefile for Africa, you expect to see the African map. So this is very important, and for you to get the shapefiles, you just go online and Google whatever shapefile you want. In this case, just Google the Kenyan the Kenya shapefile based on counties. That's what I did. Then I stored it in my downloads, in my desktop under shapefiles. So as I said here, shapefile is what defines the allocation of data points and the shape of the plot. And in this case, whatever the map you plot, that's what that's where the allocation of data points will be put. So of course you tell it shapefile, please. You're telling now GeoPandas, GPD is GeoPandas, please read a file for me, and the file is a shapefile. This is where it's located. Then please show me how it looks like. So once you run this, you have your data. It's a minute, it's busy, a little bit loading, yeah, it's done. So this is our shapefile. You have, of course, the geometry here is more or less of the longitudes and latitudes, and then here we have sorry, actually I skipped a step. So this is what I ran. So you have the geometry here as the longitudes and latitudes. Then of course these other details are not that important, but of course the country is Kenya. Then population, that is population 209, if I'm not wrong, but I don't want to focus on this as much. What we are interested in is just trying to load the exact just the shape file to define the shape of the map. So the county, of course, is here. Now that we have the index starting from 0, we expect it to go up to 40, index 47, because we have 46 because we have 47 counties in Kenya. So thereafter you've loaded your map. Now the next thing is to do something called merging. You're merging your data with a shapefile. So here you're trying to say, now let me create a new data frame called merge data that actually picks the shapefile, merges it with what? With the data, what I had loaded as data. How are you merging it? Please use the left indexing. By that I mean you use the leftmost column on my shapefile, and then left on what? What am I merging on based on the county? You're merging it from the left, actually. This is how, from the left. Then on what? What am I basing the merging from? From county. Then right index, of course, just put everything on the right. Whatever is not merged, whatever column that is not merged, in this case, population, please put it on the right, the far most right. That's why we write right index. We say it's true. You just put it on the right. So then now we need to now thereafter you tell Python that, please, yes, you've loaded you have merged my data, but anything that is not merged, please drop it. Normally, if something is missing, you'll see an N and an A, and that's why you have to drop it before you plot anything. Otherwise, it will bring you problems. Then please show me how my merged data looks like. So this is my merged data. If you look at it, this is, of course, the counties are here. And then now, of course, I suspect this is population in 209. Yeah. So now you look at the next thing is, you will notice there's a population that has actually been a population variable that has actually been put on the right. As we said, put it on the right. Whatever is left, put it on the right. Then we have now matched our data. The next thing is, now we need to do the plotting, but first we describe how will the figure look like. And in this case, you say, of course, we're plotting the map based on shaded counties, but before that we need to describe. We're drawing a figure. Axes, please, the axis, these are the axes. You're plotting subplots, because in between the x and y axis we have subplots, the counties. Yeah, Nairobi has its own map, that's why we're plotting subplots. But of course, put a ratio 1:1. Whatever is on the data, please put it on the map. And then the size of the figure should be 10 by 10. This is just the measurement along the x and y axis. But you can actually manipulate it based on how you want it to be. Then now, thereafter, after we've described the axis and the figure, now inside those subplots, that is on the match data plot, use the column population to plot my data. What is the color of my map? That is the CMAP. This is color of the map. You put oranges. Then the width of the lines, the boundaries of the counties, you just put it 0.8. But you can change this. It can be 1, it can be 2. But of course you'll see a very thick line if you put 2. Then axes, please pick what I had prescribed above. I said my axis should be this way. And then edge color should be 0.8. Then legend, put a legend, please, to tell me what actually means, what population means what. Then you just, as I said, true. Then you label everything in that map. Then thereafter you plot the map without shading. So you say, first of all, you need to plot the shape. How does the outlines without the shading? Yeah. So you from the shape file, pick boundaries. The boundaries, plot them, and then as according to my axis should be the same as what I had prescribed before, that this is how my axis should be. Then the color of the boundary, that is the outline of the map, should be black. Then line width should be 1. Thereafter, you of course, the next thing is to add title, and then just plot settings. Trying to be a little bit very fancy, and of course do the necessary label diagram. That is very important. Of course, population by major cities actually should be by counties in Kenya. Then on the axis, please put it off. That is outside the map. That is what it means to say axis off. So after you create a legend, if you don't mind stressing up yourself, just just do the same way I did it. And of course, then if you run this, that's what you get. Let's see. So this is what we have. So population by counties in Kenya. Then now notice one thing is that the higher the population, the darker the painting of the oranges. You look at counties like Nairobi, which are known to have the highest population. You notice the tally is very, very high. And then of course you notice like counties like Tana River, Isiolo, Marsabit. You notice they are less populated. They are scarcely populated. That's why you notice the painting, the coloring is very fed, and that's how you do a map. So same thing would have happened if we were doing an African Africa shapefile, African map actually. The only thing that would actually change is the data would have been based on African countries, of course, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, and stuff. And then the other thing that would have actually changed is on the of course on the shapefile. We'd have actually picked the African shapefile. Thank you so much. I hope you've learned a lot.